gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. But when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year, well, I'll be there for you. When the rain starts to pour, I'll be there for you. Like I've been there before, I'll be there for you. 'Cause you're there for me too. You're still in bed at 10 and work began at 8. You burn your breakfast so far, things are going great. Your mother warned you there'd be days like these, but she didn't tell you when the world has brought you down to your knees that I'll be there for you. When the rain starts to pour, I'll be there for you. Like I've been there before, I'll be there for you. 'Cause you're there for me too. I'll be there for you. Like I've been there before, I'll be there for you. 'Cause you're there for me too. 'Cause you're there for me too.
Today to witness the joining in matrimony of Peter and Gemma, to celebrate their love, acknowledge their union, and support their commitment to one another, surrounded by all those people dearest and most important to them. So, ladies and gentlemen, could I ask you now please to take your seats? Peter, will you take Gemma to be your wife, to be loving and loyal to her for the rest of your life?
I will.
And Gemma, will you take Peter to be your husband, to be loving and loyal to him for the rest of your life?
I will.
You'll be delighted to know that those were the right answers. So we now have ourselves a marriage ceremony. But before we start, I'm going to ask Jamie to come up and do our first reading. So,
Gravitation cannot be held responsible for people falling in love. How on earth can you explain in terms of chemistry and physics so important a biological phenomenon as first love? Put your hand on a stove for a minute and it seems like an hour. Sit with that special girl for an hour and it seems like a minute. That's relativity.
marriage in this country means the union of two people, voluntarily entered into for life, to the exclusion of all others. But more than this, marriage is intended to provide the love and friendship, help and comfort which each ought to have for the other, both in times of joy and hardship. So first I'm going to ask you each to declare that there is no just cause to prevent you from marrying each other. So in other words, that you're both legally free to marry. And I'm going to start with you, Peter, in the time-honoured tradition that the groom goes first. And if you could please repeat after me. I declare
that I know
of no legal reason why I, Peter Richard Winrow, may not be joined in marriage to Gemma Leanne Souter. Now, Gemma, it's your turn. I declare that I know of no legal reason why I, Gemma Leanne Souter, may not be joined in marriage to Peter Richard Winrow. So, the wedding ring is an unbroken circle. It has no beginning and no end. It symbolises unending and everlasting love, and is the outward sign of the lifelong promises that you make to each other today. Wear your rings with pride and look at them often as you remember this your very special day. So Peter, if you'd like to please take Gemma's ring and just hold it on the tip of the third finger of her left hand, and that's right, support her hand with your other hand, and you're saying these words to her. Gemma, I give you this ring. As a symbol of my love and devotion. Just as a circle is without end. My love for you is eternal. And my commitment forever. On this day. I give you my hand. And my heart. See if that lovely ring will go on. Gemma, if you'd like to take Peter's ring and just hold it on the tip of the third finger of his left hand. And support his hand, and you're saying these words to him. Peter, I give you this ring. As a symbol of my love and devotion. Just as a circle is without end. My love for you is eternal. And my commitment forever. On this day. I give you my hand. And my heart. So, ladies and gentlemen, could I ask you please to stand to support them for this part of the ceremony? Thank you. I, Peter, take you, Gemma, to be my wedded wife.
I swear I will do anything to make you happy. I'll take care of you when you're sick. I'll cuddle you when you're cold. tell you funny stories when you're sad. I'll cook for you. I'll sing to you on long drives. Anything you want to do, you know I'll be right by your side.
I, Gemma,
Take you, Peter,
to be my wedded husband.
to be my wedded husband. I take you to be my best friend, my faithful partner, and everything in between. I promise to encourage you and support you, to love you truly through good times and bad. I'll forever be there to laugh with you, to lift you up when you're down, and to love you unconditionally through all our adventures in life together.
Well done, both of you. Those were beautiful. So stay holding hands. So, Peter and Gemma, you have both made the declarations prescribed by law and made a solemn and binding contract with each other in the presence of your witnesses, families and friends. We hope that the feelings of love that you very evidently have for each other will deepen and grow even stronger throughout your lives together. And it therefore gives me the very greatest of pleasure to declare that you are now husband and wife together. Congratulations and
He never leaves the seat up or gets held upon the floor. The toothpaste has the lid on, and he always shuts the door. She's very clean and tidy, though she sometimes may delude. Leave your things out at your peril, in a second they'll have moved. He's a very active person, as a rule is next of kin, whereas she likes lazy days, he'll still drag her to the gym. He romances her and dines her, home-cooked dinners and the like. He even knows her favourite food and spoils her day and night. She's thoughtful when he looks at her, a smile upon her face. Will he look good in 50 years when his dentures aren't in place? He says he loves her figure and her mental powers too, but when gravity takes over, will she still charm with her IQ? She says she loves his kindness and his patience is a must, and of course she thinks he's handsome, which in her eyes is a plus. They're both not wholly perfect, but who are we to judge? He can be big-headed, whereas she won't even budge. All that said and done, they love the time they spent together, and I hope as sure as you do that this fine day will last forever. He'll be more than just her husband, he'll also be her friend, and she'll be more than just his wife, she'll be his soulmate to the end.
So it just gives me one last very great pleasure and that is to introduce you to Peter and Gemma, the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Winrow, as they lead you on for further celebrations.
Job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. Still in bed at 10 and work again at 8. You burned your breakfast so far, things are going great. Your mother warned you there'd be days like these, but she didn't tell you when the world was brought you down to your knees. And I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. No one could ever know me, no one could ever see me. Seems you're the only one who knows what it's like to be me. Someone to face the day with, make it through all of the rest with. Someone I always laugh with, even at my worst, my best with you. Yeah. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love, is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love, is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you.
So I will now hand over to our opener, Mr. Paul Suter.
Sit down after that applause. Right, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. It's lovely to see so many family and friends gathered here today to celebrate Gemma and Pete's wedding day. I know that many of you have travelled long distances to be here today, and I would like to offer you all a very warm welcome. I would like to take this opportunity to compliment you all on how good you all look today, especially Denise and Bridget, who look as elegant as ever. But I am sure you'll all agree there is only one gem here today, and that's our Gemma, who looks absolutely stunning. Gemma, you are a wonderful daughter and have provided us with so much pleasure and happiness over the years. It's been a joy for both your mum and I to watch you grow from our gorgeous baby girl into a very beautiful, kind, caring and loving daughter you have become. I must admit, it's one of my proudest moments to have walked you down the aisle today, and I've never seen you look happier. Gosh, I wish I could stop shaking.
Hold his hands, please. Hold his hands.
This is probably the part where I'm supposed to say a few embarrassing things about Gemma when she was younger. But, as she probably knows more embarrassing things about me, I've decided to miss this bit out. Right. Many of you will probably know that Gemma and Pete met in Italy whilst on a Dawson band tour in August 2011. When Gemma returned from the tour, we thought something had changed because all Gemma's photos had the same young man in them. And most of Gemma's sentences began to start with the word Pete. Not long after their return from Italy, Gemma and Pete started going out together. After graduating from university, they took up jobs and started to think about setting a home together. The company Pete worked for relocated to Bristol, and Pete and Gem took the brave decision to move to Bristol and set up home there. Excuse me. Whilst we miss having them close by, we are very proud, as I am sure Bridget and Mark are, of what they have achieved in the past 2 years, buying their first home as well as planning such a beautiful wedding day. On the positive side, having them living in Bristol is a great excuse for weekends away. It was on one of these weekends in December 2017, whilst out Christmas shopping with Gemma and Denise, that Pete and I sloped off for a drink. On our second pint, I was very impressed and honoured when Pete asked for my permission to marry Gemma. I, of course, said yes and told Pete that I wouldn't say anything to anyone, and that included Denise. Pete waited until January whilst on a family skiing holiday to propose to Gemma. After Gemma had accepted his proposal, Pete, being Pete, was worried that Denise would not know because I promised to keep it a secret. But Gemma replied, Mum would have known something was up and got it out of Dad within 5 minutes of him returning from the pub. Which, of course, is exactly what happened. I would like, on behalf of myself and Denise, to officially welcome Pete to the family. But to be honest, we feel that Pete has been very much part of our family from when Gemma first brought him home to meet us 8 years ago. We'd like to thank Mark and Bridget for raising such a wonderful, caring, considerate, loving son, and also for making Gemma so welcome into their family. We certainly could not ask for more in a son-in-law. Apparently, it's traditional for the father of the bride to offer some marital advice. So, based on my 36 years' experience, here goes. Remember, neither of you will ever be perfect, but you can be a perfect match for each other. A successful marriage is not about finding a person you can live with, but finding a person you cannot live without. And I know you have found that with each other. Well, I think I'm getting close to outstaying my welcome, and I can see both Pete and Jack are keen to get on with their speeches. I do, however, have one final very pleasurable responsibility to fulfil. Gemma and Pete, may your marriage be a truly happy one, and may you have a long and wonderful life together. It is my very great pleasure to propose the first toast to the happy couple. So, could I ask you all to please be upstanding and raise your glasses. To the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Winrow. Thank you very much for listening. Over to you, lads.
Thank you, Paul, for giving such a great, funny, meaningful and quite welcoming speech. This speech was written very much in the same fashion as my dissertation. Stealing excerpts from people online, gently tweaking it and palming it off as my own. On behalf of my wife and I, we would like to... That's the line you all want. We'd like to welcome you all to our special day and thank you all for coming. We know that some of you have travelled very long distances to be here and are truly grateful, echoing what Paul said. Thank you for all your gifts and generous contributions towards our honeymoon. I promise to take Gemma somewhere hot, steamy, and somewhere she's never been before. I can now reveal where we're going to. The kitchen. Now, there'll be a few toasts, so try not to neck the whole glass of fizz on the first one, mentioning no names, Auntie Alice. To start with, I would like to take this opportunity to say that unfortunately, there are some people close to our hearts who cannot be with us today. I know they would love to have been here and enjoyed themselves immensely. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses to the absent and lost family and friends.
King of the North. Absent friends.
To my new in-laws, Denise and Paul, we thank you both for your help and support towards the wedding, of which none of this would be possible. You've also provided me with the best gift of all, your beautiful daughter. Denise, you've been a massive support to the both of us. You spent hours on the phone with Gemma and listened to all of her worries and concerns. This gives me some much needed alone time. In fact, I wrote a page and a half of this speech in one short phone call. But seriously, your counsel means a lot to Gemma, and I thank you for it. Paul, I was so relieved when you gave me your permission to marry Gemma. I was almost as nervous as giving this speech. I think there's some discrepancies in the amount of pints that was drunk. Well, I thought I needed 5 pints to pluck up the courage. You're always providing excellent pearls of wisdom, albeit the 5 same pearls, but pearls nonetheless. You've raised such a beautiful, funny, kind and caring daughter who makes me the happiest man alive, and for this I'm truly thankful. Now on to my mum, Bridget, and dad, Mark. Gemma would like to thank you for raising such an amazing, handsome, smart and sexy son. That's her words, definitely not mine. You've both provided me with an unwavering support over the years and raised me to be the man I am today. Your help and support towards today has made everything a lot easier. Mum, there is no one's advice that I listen to more than yours. You are there to support me and always have a solution to all of life's problems. Without you, I probably wouldn't have the courage to ask out Gemma, to be fair. Dad, you've provided me with countless laughs over the years, but more importantly, taught me many practical life skills, which I hear is a very attractive trait in a man. I would like to raise a toast to our parents, Mark, Bridget, Denise and Paul. To the bridesmaids, Amy and Annie, there you are. You both look absolutely stunning today. If nothing else, you've raised the average attractiveness of the wedding party. Thank you both for keeping Gemma calm this morning, a skill of which I'm still trying to master, and making sure everything ran smoothly. You absolutely smashed the hen do, and I know that Gemma had an amazing time. Special thanks to Annie for sorting out all the hair. Thanks to the ushers, Aaron and Robbie, stick your hands up, for ensuring everyone could find their seat and handing out all the bubbles during the ceremony. I mean, you had by far the easiest job. Knowing the two of you though, didn't want to give you anything too taxing. Seriously though, thanks for being two of my best mates over the years, and it means a lot to have both of you as part of the wedding. To Jack, my best man, I didn't even ask you to be my best man. You just told me that it's happening. I'm sure you'll be embarrassing me in a few minutes, but I just want to thank you for organising a brilliant stag do. Hands down the best weekend I've ever had. So for this, I'm truly grateful that you made yourself the best man. I'd like to raise another glass to the bridesmaids, ushers, and the best man. Well, it's going down nicely, ladies. I'd like to say some quick thank yous before we move on to the main event. Thank you to Jamie and Zoe for their beautiful readings during the ceremony, and thanks to Auntie Debs and Holly for making all the place names. You all added a lovely personal touch to our day. Thanks to all the lovely ladies who were baking all day yesterday to make all of the favours. Also, a massive thanks to Jay, who you may have seen floating around all day, filming everything. It would be lovely to be able to show our grandparents that couldn't make it. Now on to the bit where I gush endlessly over my beautiful bride. I think that we can all agree that Gemma looks unreal today. I would say this is the most beautiful you've ever looked, but to me, you're beautiful every day. Gemma and I met playing trumpet in Dav Band. Yes, we've had American Pie quoted at us endlessly. I'd fancied Gemma for a number of years and made that plainly obvious to her, as any young boy does, by pinging her bra and punching her leg. She, however, did not feel the same way about me. It wasn't until we went on tour to Lake Garda, which is where I managed to win her over. It's amazing what alcohol does to people. I knew that I wanted to marry Gemma after a few years of being together, but those of you that know me well know that I have to do everything in the correct order. 2 years ago, we moved to Bristol together, our first experience of living together. I knew after a few weeks that this is how I wanted to spend the rest of my life, so started planning the proposal. Today, I'm not marrying the person I want to live with, but the one person I could not live without. Gemma, you make me laugh every day we're together, and I love your company, apart from when you're grumpy at me. I did not know how we are not sick of each other with the amount of time that we spend together, but I think that's a strong testament to our relationship. Yeah. I can't wait for what the future holds and look forward to every step of the way by your side. I would now ask for everyone to raise a glass to my best friend and wife, Mrs. Gemma Winrow. Right, brace yourselves everybody. And if you're easily offended, I would leave now. I'm handing over to my best man and brother, Jack. Wish me luck.
Since Pete is a chemist,
I'm going to start things off with a chemistry-themed joke. Hello? Is it better? Is it better? Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Why don't Russian scientists go swimming in shorts? Because Chernobyl fallout! Right, so now I've got the humour. Now I've got the humour and the jokes out of the way, I can get down to a proper, sensible and grown-up best man speech. Nah, I'm joking. So I've known Pete for the best part of 24 years now, and as brothers we've experienced a hell of a lot of things together. I just wanted to start off proceedings by saying a massive well done to Pete and Gemma for organising this amazing day. Give them a whoop whoop! Gemma for having an amazing vision of her perfect day and paying exquisite attention to detail. And Pete for doing as he's told. Starting off married life with an A-star, bruv, so well done you. And also to Paul and Denise and my mum and dad, Mark and Bridge, for overseeing it all emotionally, but more importantly, financially. I think we can all agree that it's been a lovely day so far, and I personally can't wait till my responsibilities are over so I can join you all at the bar afterwards and answer the lifelong debate of who can handle their booze more, the Southern Fairies or the Northern Monkeys. So who thinks the Southern Fairies? Yay! Who thinks the Northern Monkeys? Yay! Well, there's only one way we're going to find out, isn't it? Fire! No, I'm joking. So what can I say about mine and Pete's relationship over the years? We laugh at private jokes no one else will find funny. We have an unshakable bond that you can only find between two brothers who have spent their lives growing up together. But above all else, we're complete arseholes to each other. So just imagine this scene. On the 29th of December 1992, the firstborn of the next generation of both the Winrow and Postic clans came into this world, and he was adored by everyone who saw him. Named after my late grandpa, Peter, King of the North. He quickly became the apple of everyone's eye, spoilt, rotten and adored across the counties of Yorkshire and Sussex. So after a few murmurings of people to disrupt his reign from the north in the form of Tom and Maisie, living so far away felt no threat to them. Until... on the 29th of July 1995, sporting electric blonde hair and blue eyes to match, I was born. And Pete was not a happy bunny. I mean, who's got two thumbs and said, I need attention? Yeah, Pete's hatred for me when I was born was well documented by anyone who bore witness to it. He was caught literally stuffing me under a coffee table in a futile attempt to draw attention away from me. He then went on to a few more extreme methods, to get me out of the picture. You know those like bouncy chairs that babies sort of stand and bounce around in, yeah? Well, Pete tried to slingshot me out of one of those ones and sent me flying across the room. It was then we all realised that Pete's psychopathic tendencies had reached all new levels of crazy. When a few months later he blissfully asked my mum, Mummy, can I push Jack's buggy? Now I couldn't talk at this point, but I'm sure every ounce of me wanted to grab my mum and just go, what are you playing at? It's clearly irresponsible. And lo and behold, that evil little toddler pushed me out of my buggy and sent me crashing to the curb, laughing as he did it in like a sort of like Damien Omen sort of demonic, I think. So after that, I think he must have found God or something, because the beating stopped for a little while, and then so I could sort of start to fight back. So I vividly remember the first time I felt genuine rage in my life. So me and Pete were sitting at the dinner table, probably enjoying a delicious feast of pasta with cheese and tomato ketchup, a delicacy for toddlers and young children. So Pete turned around to me and said, hey Jack, I've got a secret to tell you. There's me like absolutely over the moon. Finally I was being allowed into the inner circle. I was being informed of something in the form of a whisper that only me and my brother could be in on, so I was shut, mate. So I leaned over, I caught my ear and I said, yes, my good man, spin me your yarn and together we'll bask in this reverie over brandy and fine Cubans. I'll paraphrase, I don't know how I spoke by then, I'm a bit of a closet gent. So, you know what? He didn't tell me his secret. So he put his arm around my ear roll, and you know what he did? He did a disgusting, sicking burn. Honestly, I was absolutely livid, I was fuming, rage filled my body. You know what I did? Stabbed him with my foot. Right in the side, I thought that would earn him. So you made me look a fool, will you? Who looks stupid now? Are you a vicar, mate? You look a bit holy. Mum was livid, mate. I had to sit on the naughty step. Dad even made me write lines. He was like, if I did something like that at school, I'd have to write lines, so you'll bloody do it too. And I was just like, hey! Mans was just here minding my own business, chowing down on some delicious pasta and cheese and tomato ketchup. And this bloody hoodlum has just come and sullied the whole experience for me. Yeah, I did get a bit stabby. But burping in a man's face as he's eating it's just not cricket fun. So I think in retaliation to the stabbing, Pete had to come up with an elaborate yet psychological way to get me back over the years. As was proven, the physical torture wasn't cutting the mustard anymore. This came in the form of convincing me that the popular song by Ray Charles, Hit the Road Jack, was actually written by my mum and dad. Because they didn't love me as much as him. And I believed him. In fact, Mark and Bridge found the concept of this so hilarious that they actually joined in as well. And they'd regularly have sing-alongs on car journeys to see how much they could make me cry. And people wonder why I've got this constant urge to be the centre of attention in my adult years. It's deep embedded psychological trauma, so well done, Pete, you created this monster. Now, I could go on forever about stories when we were kids, but one of my favourite memories of Pete didn't happen that long ago. It's safe to say, back in the day, Pete was a bit of a lightweight when it came to handling his pints. You know, he's got a little bit better recently, but 5 pints and he'd be on his arse telling you how much he loved you, followed quickly by a sudden dash to the nearest lavatory. So one winter in the Winrow house, we had a resident rat that kept making its way into our house and chewing through random stuff. And it was really starting to do everyone's nose, proper vermin. So we were out at a party, the whole family. And, oh, that's the wrong one. And this is one of those nights where Pete probably had one too many WKDs. So lo and behold, he came back home. Pete started praying to the great white porcelain god. And Gemma, probably holding his hair back like a good future wife, like, it will be okay. Don't worry.
No, she wouldn't.
Oh no. So Pete did his business and went to flush the toilet. But when he did, he had a nasty surprise. So our friend the rat had crawled up the sewage pipe and eaten its way through the plastic U-bend of the toilet. So Pete ended up bathing on his hands and knees in a disgusting puddle of his own making. It was class. So it's safe to say that Pete has got himself a keeper with Gemma. She's kind, charming, caring, and above all else, too good for Pete. And I think you'll agree that she looks absolutely stunning today. Don't you agree? So when Pete proposed to Gemma, I have to say it truly was magical. So we're in the Alps on a skiing holiday. Me and Pete were enjoying après ski, which is French for getting battered, mate. Am I right, Auntie Joe, French teacher over there. So me, and I asked if he wanted one more pint on top of the 4 we'd already had in our tummies, and he was like, no, I've got something I need to go do. I was just like, yeah, all right, mate. We all know what you're like after 5 pints. Get your excuses in early. But no, he clearly had business to go do. So Pete had gone down with Gemma to the local shop to get some croissants or something equally French. And on his way back, a message lay in the snow for Gemma that just read, marry me. Ain't that sweet? Ain't that lovely? I mean, don't get me wrong, Pete. You're not the most literate man, are you? I mean, you could have put a bit of poetry in there or something, maybe more than 2 words. But I guess it's the thought that counts. And it was a really special evening. We popped a bottle of Prosecco, because Bridge, being Northern, couldn't stretch the splash out in the champers. And we all were so excited as we started our journey watching them come up to this amazing day. Unfortunately for me, though, I shared a bedroom wall with them that night. And from what I can tell, Gemma agreed to marry Pete several times that evening. I'll tell you, it was the most uncomfortable minute and a half of my life. Nah, I'm only joking. It was 1 minute and 22 seconds. I think Pete got a bit started. Now, I'm sure all the married men here today will be giving you their words of wisdom on what makes a successful marriage. I'm not a married man myself. Maybe one day, Zoe. So I may require a bit of audience participation here. So now can everyone turn to their spouse or partner and stare deeply into each other's eyes? Can you all do that? Just look at your partner and look into each other's eyes. Are you all doing it? Are you all doing it? Robbie, just find one of the waitresses, mate. Okay, are you all doing it? Statistically, you are looking at a person who's most likely to murder you. So you know, just be aware of that, Pete. Keep on your toes at all times, especially when Gemma is holding a cooking knife or suddenly decides she fancies some toast when you're taking a bath. Those same statistics I looked up say that married men also live longer than single men. This one is not true, it just seems longer. And guys, please, by all means, be safety conscious, because 80% of people are caused by accidents. Yeah, got you there, didn't you? And Gemma, marry Mr. Right, but make sure his first name isn't always, as he'll barrage you with constant sentences that start with, actually. God, anyone would have thought he's got a degree. Still does my nutting. But above all else...
Actually, it's a master's.
Oh, shit! But above all else, love him and care for him as much as I know he loves and cares for you. So before I wrap things up, I'd like to give a special mention to the bridesmaids. Amy, you look... Where is she? Amy, you look absolutely lovely today. Give her a round of applause, everyone. And Annie. I mean, people keep saying to me, oh, doesn't she look beautiful? He must be such a proud brother. I don't say it, if I'm honest. No, I'm only messing with you. You look amazing. You're amazing. And I've lost my place now. And I'd say you've done such an amazing job of everyone's hair. In fact, I'd say 80% of the wedding party have been cut and styled by Annie Claire Hair. Available now for bookings. Men's haircuts start at £10 and women's cut and dry start at £25. Book now at a salon on Langton Road, Worthing, or come see her at Richard John in the Royal Arcade. £10, please. £10. So where are my grandma and granddad, Claire and Dave? Well, I know where they are, because he's been a nightmare. Claire and Dave, everyone, give them a round of applause. Absolute legends. And if there's something I've learned from watching them over the years, there are two things that make a truly great marriage. So there's one, having a good sense of humour, and two, selective hearing. So, can we all raise a glass to my brother, my best pal, and his beautiful bride, Mrs. Gemma Winrow. One of us. But that's not all. Maestro? Mark Jarton, everyone. There we are. Okay. So please draw your attention to Pete here. Look, notice the cardboard cut-out glasses. What a nerd. So yeah, this is what I like to call getting prepared for his first day at Hogwarts. Ready? Getting prepared for his first day at Hogwarts, dressed like a waiter with an outfit that Mum bought, taking a dump with a snack and a drink, a blast from the past beat that does make you think. Kidnapping toddlers on a trike-driven trailer, football with Aaron that ended in failure, going to school as the gingerbread imp. I know it's quite frightening, but don't be a wimp. Wearing blue hard hats, there's 2 each between us, being ashamed of the size of your penis, a shit cardboard crown for a smug little king. These are a few old embarrassing things. When a man bites, sniffs your earring, or I'm feeling sad, I simply remember embarrassing things, and then I don't feel so bad. You ready? Coming back in with verse 2. Let's do this. Big boy style. Whoop.
staring you down as the demonic bunny, soiling yourself and it looks like it's runny, capping it up on your red fire truck. You work at Fifth there and don't give a French connection. A clown for some reason is in a sombrero. Keep dreaming sunshine cause I've seen your dick bro. Dip in a pool in just nothing but shades. Not much has changed in the last few decades. Sporting weird hair and you look like a pedo. Being quite ill in a nice set of Speedos. Kissing a man with full frontal tonguing. These are a few more embarrassing things. Hold a sausage where your knob is when you're feeling sad. And simply remember embarrassing things, and then you won't feel so bad.
Somebody get me up here.
We were free, and if there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. We were young, we were wrong, we were fine all along. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. When you get to where you wanna go, and you know the things you wanna know, yeah. Smiling when you said what you wanna say, and you know the way you wanna play. You'll be so high, you'll be flying.